You've probably all heard of OCD. I have OPD, which is Obsessive Politeness Disorder. I'm just waiting for my blue badge, but actually I will be too polite to use it. I actually get this politeness from my parents. They are horrifically polite. I'll text my dad with a casual, "Hi, how's it going?" And I'll get back, "Dear son, thank you for the polite inquiry. We're all in excellent health. Kind regards, Raymond," in brackets, "your father." You see, I was doomed from the start. So they were actually burgled a couple of years ago, middle of the night. They're up making them a cup of tea, helping them with the packing. My mum's there with this huge industrial roll of bubble wrap, shoving things into bags for life. The police, when they turned up, were absolutely furious, largely because the burglars had eaten all the good sandwiches. So, in my job, I work in recruitment. And as part of that job, I have to fire people, temporary workers, not a nice thing to do. But I actually do it so politely now that all of my colleagues save up their sackings for me to do in one go. But I'm so genuinely sympathetic about it that I actually fire them now at the food bank so they don't have to make 2 trips. I just can't stop caring. So, but you know what, life is tough. Life is tough. My sister's just had cancer. She's a cancer survivor, woohoo! But the treatment has been, quite hard. She's lost a lot of her hair, so her friends have bought these sort of mad wigs for her to wear. And it's affected her circulation, so her feet are cold all the time. So she's having to wear these big slippers. She's walking up and down the corridors at the hospital like Ronald McDonald. I mean, how cruel can life be? But she is coping. And she's already been booked for 3 children's parties. So every cloud. So life, as I say, can be really tough, really tough. So my sister has always been really supportive when I came out. Yes, I know, that's a shock, isn't it? I'm well aware that when I open my mouth, everybody's pretty confident which side I butter my crumpet. In fact, when I was at school, one of the class bullies was incredibly helpful by writing the word "Gaylord" in the hood of my Parker jacket. At first I was flattered. They think I'm a lord. The lord of Gaytown. Not so much, more of a queen. Not so flattering. But I think everyone has their own sort of politeness rules, don't they? I mean, my partner actually has a very definite rule about toilets. 2 doors should separate the goer and the listener at all times, and this is non-negotiable. Although he was caught out on a long-haul flight a couple of years ago. So he's just taking a seat in the restroom, just getting comfy, and somebody's assaulting the door. They start battering on the door, and he's like, "Shit, what's happened?" So apparently something had triggered the smoke alarm. But this air hostess is now in full panic mode. She's seen all the disaster movies, she's coming in. She's dressed in full riot gear that she's made out of empty Pringle tubes. She's going to take down this terrorist cell. So in she comes. He's like that on the flush, hoping to be sucked out of the aircraft altogether. I mean, after that, he was so traumatised, he just refused to come out of the cubicle. They literally just sealed the room. Slipped a seatbelt under the door, safety first. But I do remember one time, actually, when I did get my own back. Let's call it politeness karma. I remember sat cross-legged on the floor of the school assembly. And I was absolutely busting for a pee. Should have gone at break time, didn't go at break time. Anyway, so I'm signaling to my teacher, Mia's going to be excused. No, she said, you wait till the end of the lesson. Hateful woman, spiteful woman, not sure why she didn't like me. Anyway, the polite me would have hemorrhaged internally, like the good little boy I was. But I thought, no, I'm going to let go. And literally I did. It was like the Bellagio fountain spilling into the crowd. This tsunami, steaming tsunami spread out across the crowd, soaking everything in its path. People were screaming, they were dragging themselves onto bits of broken door. I stood there watching the scene gleefully as my Parker jacket floated past, leaving a trail of ink in its wake like a satisfied squid. You're welcome, I whispered, politely. Thanks, guys, you've been great.